Listen. The tension you feel, the strain that seems to be testing your very limits, it is not random. It is not punishment. It is not a sign that you have failed or that I have turned away. That pressure you feel building in your spirit, in your circumstances, in your relationships, is the precise and loving pressure of preparation. I am not testing you to see if you will break. I am testing you to prove that you won't. I am revealing to you, and to the spiritual realms, the tensile strength of the faith I have placed within you. Something big is coming. Something so significant, so weighty with purpose and blessing, that your current capacity could not possibly contain it. So I am expanding you. I am forging you. I am stress testing the vessel so it can hold the vintage wine of a new season without shattering. You've been asking, why is this so hard? Why does every step feel like a battle? Why do my prayers seem to hit a ceiling? You've mistaken the shaking of the foundation for its collapse. But a builder doesn't test the foundation of a shed the way he tests the foundation of a skyscraper. The intensity of the test is directly proportional to the height and weight of what is to be built upon it. The trials you are facing are not a sign of a small destiny. They are the blueprints, written in the language of pressure, for a monumental future. Think of Joseph. His test began in a pit, moved to a prison, and lasted for years. In the pit, he learned to rely on me, not his father's favor. In the prison, he learned administration and integrity under extreme pressure. Had he been released after a week, he would have been a bitter young man returning to his father's house. But the length and depth of the test forged in him the resilience, wisdom, and humility to govern a nation and save his family. The pressure was preparing him for the palace. Your pit and your prison are not your final address. They are your training ground. Right now, I am testing specific areas. Your faith is being tested, not so I can see if it's real. I already know, but so you can see its unshakable reality. Your patience is being stretched, not to annoy you, but to increase its length so it can bridge a future gap you cannot yet see. Your love is being tried in fire, not to burn it up, but to burn away its impurities, leaving only the pure, refined gold of my agape love that can withstand any storm. Do not despise the test. Do not pray only for it to end. Pray for the grace to pass it. For in passing, you are not just surviving, you are qualifying. You are being credentialed in the unseen realms for an assignment that requires proven character. The enemy wants you to see the test as an attack meant to destroy you. I want you to see it as an audition for a leading role in a story of redemption I am writing. So when the heat turns up, do not mistake it for hell's fury. It is my refinery's fire. When the wait grows long, do not mistake it for my absence. It is the necessary incubation period for a vision too large to be born prematurely. When you are asked to forgive the unforgivable, to hope in the hopeless, to stand when every muscle screams to sit down, know this: you are not failing. You are being fitted for a crown. This pressure is the proof of your promise. I do not test worthless material. I test gold. I test diamonds. I test oak, destined to become the main beam of a great hall. You are being tested because you are valuable, because what is coming requires a container that has been proven under pressure. Take a deep breath. The test is not bigger than my grace to see you through it. I am with you in the fire. I am with you in the waiting. I am measuring the pressure, and I promise, it will never exceed the capacity I have given you to endure it. You are stronger than you think, because I am in you. Hold on. The test has a purpose. The pressure has a destination. And what is coming is worth every moment of the strain. You understand the pressure is preparation. Now, let me show you the syllabus. You are not in a random, chaotic storm. You are enrolled in a specific course in the Wilderness University. Every lesson, every pop quiz, every long night of study is part of a curriculum designed by my wisdom to teach you what you cannot learn in the comfort of the oasis. The wilderness is not a punishment. It is the only classroom vast enough, quiet enough, and stark enough to teach you the profound truths you will need to steward the big thing that is coming. In the oasis, you learn about abundance. In the wilderness, you learn about source. When the streams dry up and the manna appears day by day, you stop trusting in the provision and start trusting in the provider. I am teaching you to draw water from the rock, which is Christ. This lesson is non-negotiable. The big thing coming cannot be rooted in your own ability to find streams. It must be rooted in your unshakable connection to the source of all things. The dryness is making you dig deeper. In the company of crowds, you learn about influence. In the solitude of the wilderness, you learn about identity. Stripped of titles, applause, and social mirrors, you are left with the fundamental question: who am I when no one is looking, when nothing is working, when all I have is my God? I am bringing you to the answer. You are my beloved child. Period. Your worth is not in your productivity, your relationships, or your successes. It is in your sonship, your daughtership. The big thing will come with accolades and attention. If you do not know who you are here in the quiet, you will be destroyed by the noise there. In times of ease, you learn about happiness. In the testing, you learn about joy. Joy is not a reaction to circumstance. It is a fruit of the Spirit, forged in the furnace of adversity. It is the defiant song in the prison at midnight. I am teaching you to access a well of joy that is separate from your situation. Why? Because the big thing will also bring big challenges, big responsibilities, and big attacks. If your joy is tied to the blessing, it will be stolen when the battle for that blessing begins. But if your joy is tied to my presence, it will be your unassailable fortress. Look at the life of David. Before the palace, there was the pasture and the cave. In the pasture, alone with sheep and a harp, he learned worship that calmed a king's tormented soul. In the cave of Adullam, rejected and hunted, he learned to lead the desperate and the discontented, who became his mighty men. The wilderness curriculum taught him the intimate worship and loyal leadership required to be a king after my own heart. His tests wrote his royal resume. What is the specific course you're in right now? Is it Patience 401? Is it trust in transition? Is it unwavering obedience amidst uncertainty? Identify it. Name it. God, I see you are teaching me deep dependency right now. This changes your perspective from I'm under attack to I'm in training. It turns frustration into focus. Do not try to cheat on the exams. Do not try to sneak out of the classroom. The wisdom gained here is the only currency that will purchase peace and authority in the promised land ahead. The world offers shortcuts. I offer depth. The world offers band-aids. I offer surgery. The world offers a shaky platform built on sand. I am building in you an unshakable foundation on the rock. So, engage with the curriculum. Take notes in your spirit. Ask for the wisdom in each lesson. The wilderness is temporary, but the character it forges is eternal. You are not wandering. You are being educated for eminence. Graduation is coming, and the diploma will be a life capable of carrying glory without crumbling under its weight. In the wilderness, you are learning profound lessons. But now, we must address the very heart of the test. Your faith. You have prayed for faith to move mountains, and I have heard you. But I am doing something even greater. I am not just giving you faith to move the mountain in front of you. I am using the mountain itself, the very obstacle, the immense problem, the seemingly immovable thing, to become the substance of your faith. This is the divine alchemy of testing. I am not just teaching you to believe for miracles. I am teaching you to believe in the midst of the miracle's absolute opposite, until your faith itself becomes the miracle. You see the mountain as the enemy of your promise. I see it as the raw material of your faith. A muscle does not grow by lifting feathers. It grows by straining against a weight that resists it. Your mountain is the spiritual weight I have permitted into your life. Every time you look at it and choose to say, "My God is bigger," a spiritual fiber tears and rebuilds stronger. Every time you feel its shadow and yet whisper a prayer of thanks, you are not denying the mountain's reality. You are affirming a greater reality that surrounds it. The mountain is not here to crush you. It is here to create in you a crushing faith, a faith so dense, so potent, so unyielding, that it will itself become an unstoppable force. This is why the answer tarries. This is why the breakthrough delays. If I remove the mountain the first time you asked, your faith would remain a small, untested theory. It would be a fair weather faith, useless in the storms that accompany great destinies. But by leaving the mountain in place and walking with you around it, through it, and in spite of it, I am causing your faith to mature from a concept you agree with into the very bedrock of your character. You are not just waiting for the mountain to move. You are being transformed by the mountain, so that when it finally shifts, a part of it will have become part of you, its unshakable mass converted into unshakable trust. Consider Abraham. His test was a promise wrapped in impossibility, a son from his own body when he was as good as dead. The mountain was his own age, Sarah's barrenness, decades of waiting. He did not just believe for a son. He believed in spite of every physical evidence to the contrary, and that faith was credited to him as righteousness. His faith did not just receive the miracle of Isaac. His faith, forged in the decades-long furnace of contradiction, became the spiritual lineage for all who would believe. The mountain of impossibility became the substance of a covenant that changed history. Your mountain, be it financial lack, a broken relationship, a health diagnosis, a stagnant dream, is your personal, impossible thing. And I am calling you to the same school of faith. Do not just beg me to take it away. Invite me into it. Say, "God, in this mountain, show me who you are. In this impossibility, reveal your possibility. Let my faith grow to match the size of this problem, so that my character will match the size of the blessing that follows it." This is the secret. The big thing that is coming is not just an external event. It is an internal expansion. The blessing will require a container of faith as big as the blessing itself. I am not testing you to see if you are worthy of the gift. I am growing you until you are capacious enough to contain it without it destroying you. A small cup cannot hold a waterfall. It shatters. I am hammering and stretching your cup into a vast basin. So when you look at the mountain today, do not despair. Thank me for it. It is the gym where your spirit is getting in shape for a victory lap you cannot yet imagine. The strain is the sign of growth. The resistance is the sign of impending strength. You are not just believing for a miracle. You are becoming, through faith, the miracle. And that is a mountain no force in hell can ever move. Your faith is being forged in the mountain's shadow. But there is another dimension to this test, one that addresses the deep loneliness you feel. You look around and see others seemingly at ease, enjoying their oases, while you feel isolated in this difficult terrain. You ask, why me? Am I being singled out for hardship? Today, I reveal a sacred fellowship. You are not being singled out. You are being drawn into the inner circle of those I trust with my deeper purposes. The test is not a mark of my displeasure. It is an invitation into the fellowship of my suffering, the most profound intimacy a human soul can share with its Creator. Consider my son Jesus. Was he beloved? Absolutely. Was he chosen? Eternally. Yet his path to glory was through Gethsemane's anguish and Golgotha's cross. He learned obedience through what he suffered, and he did it for the joy set before him. I am not comparing your trial to the cross, but I am showing you the pattern. Deep fellowship with me often travels through the valley of deep testing. It is in the pressure that you learn the contours of my heart in a way that prosperity could never teach you. You learn that I am a very present help in trouble. Not just a help, but a present one. In the test, you don't just learn about my power, you learn about my nearness. This fellowship changes your prayers. They shift from, God, get me out of this, to, God, be with me in this. Reveal yourself here. In that shift, you move from a consumer of blessings to a partner in purpose. You begin to understand that this test is not just for you, it is through you. Your endurance is serving a purpose in the unseen realm. Your steadfastness is a testimony that silences the accuser. Your choice to praise in the prison is a fragrant offering that rises above the stench of despair. You are participating in a cosmic spiritual battle, and your faithful stand in this test is a strategic victory in that larger war. This is why you feel a strange, sacred weight to it all. It's not just a personal problem. You are carrying a piece of a divine narrative. Your test is connected to someone else's breakthrough. Your obedience in the dark is building a bridge for someone else's deliverance. The big thing coming is not just your blessing. It is a junction point where your tested testimony will intersect with the desperate need of others. You are being prepared to say, I have been where you are. Let me tell you about the God who saw me through. Look at the Apostle Paul. He was shown great revelations and given a monumental calling. And his fellowship with Christ was so deep that he said he wanted to know Christ. Yes, to know the power of his resurrection and participation in his sufferings. His trials, shipwrecks, beatings, imprisonments were not interruptions to his ministry. They were the very platform for his most powerful letters and his most potent authority. His scars were his credentials. He was in the fellowship. So when you feel isolated, know this: you are in the company of giants. Abraham, Joseph, David, Paul, and my own son. You are walking a well-trodden but holy path. The loneliness is an illusion. You are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses who have passed this way and are now cheering you on. You are in the fellowship of the tested, the tried, and the ultimately triumphant. Do not resent this fellowship. Embrace it. It is a sign of extraordinary trust. I am allowing you to share in a work that has eternal consequence. The comfort you receive from me in this trial will become the comfort you can impart to others with supernatural authority. You are not alone in the fire. I am with you. And so is everyone who has ever learned that the deepest knowing of God is often found not on the mountaintop of victory, but in the valley of the test. This fellowship is your hidden strength. It is the secret joy in the struggle. It is the proof that you are not just a recipient of grace, but a partner in glory. You are in the fellowship. You are learning nearness in the fire. Now let me show you the transformative work happening at the molecular level of your soul. A test is not a passive waiting game. It is an active alchemy. I am using the heat of your circumstances and the pressure of your delays to transmute the base metals of your human nature into the gold of divine character. This is not about punishment. It is about purification. Not about breaking you down, but about building you up with materials that cannot corrode, cannot be stolen, and will shine for eternity. What are these base metals? Self-reliance, fear, impatience, the need for human approval, the love of comfort over calling. These are not sins in the crude sense. They are impurities in the ore of your spirit that would weaken the final product. In times of ease, they lie dormant, unnoticed. But under pressure and heat, they rise to the surface. And that is my intent. I am not causing the impurities. I am using the test to bring them to the surface so they can be skimmed off, leaving behind a purer, stronger, more resilient you. This is why you sometimes feel worse before you feel better. Why old insecurities you thought were dead suddenly roar back to life. Why patience feels impossible. It's not regression, it's exposure. The heat of the test is revealing what's really inside, not so I can condemn you, but so we can deal with it together. Every time you recognize an impurity, a flash of untrusting fear, a surge of entitled anger, and you bring it to me saying, "This is not the fruit of your spirit. Have your way." You are participating in the alchemy. You are handing me the dross, and I am replacing it with the gold of my nature. Faith, love, peace, long-suffering. Look at the process of refining gold. The refiner puts the ore into a crucible and applies intense heat. The impurities, called dross, float to the top. The refiner skims them off. He does this not once, but repeatedly. He knows the gold is pure only when he can look into the molten metal and see his own face reflected clearly. This is my goal in your test, to apply the precise heat needed until I can see my own son's reflection in your character, until your reactions under pressure mirror his reactions, until your love in the face of betrayal reflects his love on the cross. The test is the crucible. The heat is my love, burning away everything that hinders love. This alchemy explains the why now of your test. The big thing that is coming is not just a material blessing or a change in status. It is a dispensation of spiritual authority and influence. Influence in my kingdom is not given to the gifted. It is entrusted to the proven. It is not given to the clever, but to the crucible cleaned. To put a heart full of self-reliance and impatience into a position of great influence would be a curse to that person and everyone around them. The pressure you are under is the mercy that prevents that tragedy. I am purifying your motives, burning away the selfish ambition, so that when the platform comes, you will use it to serve, not to be served, to glorify me, not yourself. So, when the heat feels unbearable, do not beg for it to stop. Ask for the grace to endure. Ask for the eyes to see what is rising to the surface. And then, hand it to me. Lord, here is my fear. Skim it off. Here is my impatience. Replace it with your patience. This cooperation turns the test from a trial you suffer into a transformation you co-author with me. You are not just waiting for the test to end. You are in the middle of a sacred fiery art. I am the master refiner. You are the precious metal. And the reflection we are working toward is glorious. Hold still in the fire. The alchemy is almost complete. The reflection is growing clearer. And what is coming requires nothing less than a heart of pure gold. The fire has done its work. The alchemy is complete. The faith that has been forged in the mountain's shadow is now a substance more solid than the mountain itself. You have graduated from the Wilderness University, not with a paper diploma, but with a character tempered in the fires of my presence. The fellowship of the tested has knitted your heart to mine in an unbreakable bond of shared depth. Now, the season of preparation concludes. The curtain rises. The big thing is no longer coming. It is here. But understand this. The big thing may not look like what you imagined. You envisioned a sudden, explosive event, a dramatic reversal that would make the world gasp. And while I am a god of sudden lies, the culmination of a deep preparation often manifests not as a spectacle, but as a seamless entrance into a realm of divine ease and authority. The doors that once strained against your pushing now swing open at your touch. The resources you struggled to find now flow to you with surprising simplicity. The wisdom that felt elusive now rests on you as a natural knowing. The big thing is the arrival of you, the proven, prepared, purified you, into the destiny that has been waiting for you all along. This is the ultimate purpose of the test, to bring you to a place where you operate not from striving, but from restful authority. The Israelites wandered to get the Egypt out of them. Only then could they possess the promised land. You have wandered in your own wilderness to get the old you out, the you driven by fear, impatience, and self-sufficiency. Now, you enter your promise as a new person, able to steward it from a place of peace and spiritual maturity. The test was the birth canal. You are now breathing the air of your new life. Look at Job. After his unimaginable trials, after the test of his faith and the revelation of my majesty, I restored his fortunes. But I gave him twice as much as he had before. Why double? Because the man who received the double blessing was not the same man who lost it all. He was a man who had seen me, whose faith had been proven in the absolute darkness, whose mouth had been stopped from complaining and opened in worship. The double portion was not just compensation. It was the appropriate provision for the expanded, fortified vessel he had become. Your double portion is awaiting the you that this test has created. Now you carry a mantle. The weight of it feels familiar because you have been strengthening under its invisible burden for months, for years. The authority it confers is not for your own elevation, but for the liberation of others. You will now walk into situations, and your very presence will carry a settling peace. You will speak, and your words will carry the weight of heaven because they are forged in the silence of your suffering. You will pray, and things will shift because your prayers are no longer just requests, but decrees from a heart that has been aligned with my will in the crucible. So step forward. Do not look back at the wilderness with regret. It was not your prison. It was your proving ground. Every tear was a seed. Every prayer in the dark was a root going deep. Every act of obedience when no one saw was a brick in the foundation of your future. The big thing is not just an event. It is the convergence of your prepared character with my predestined purpose. They have finally met. And now, the story truly begins. You were tested because something big was coming. That something big is you. Now go and build the kingdom with the unshakable, fire-tested tools I have placed in your hands. Amen.